Uh, Once again, I welcome all the students in our this session that we have already started. That is chapter number 7. That is our CBSE syllabus. As per the CBSE syllabus, that is called the control and coordination. And we have already seen last two sessions about this chapter, and this is going to be a third session for our chapter. So many things we have already covered in this chapter, that is in short we will take the revision exactly. So it will remind what we have learned in our previous lectures. So we have seen stimuli. What is the stimuli? That is the response to the movement or the environment, what is happening in around. Our body is doing the response, our body is giving the response to the movement. So that is called the stimuli. And then we have seen coordination between our two organs, between our two systems, that is necessary for the movement, that is necessary, that is allowing the movement or in our body to do whatever the function we have to do. That is you can also say between the animal, or we are just coordinating is done by the nervous system and endocrine system. This is the system which is necessary in the human being, right? So that actually we can say the nervous system and endocrine system, these are both system which is separate in our body, but they are both coordinating with each other to perform different functions. So in this control and coordination, we can also say the nervous system and the endocrine system. Nervous system means it consists of brain, spinal cord, or nerves and neurons in our body, and that are coordinating with the endocrine system, especially it is having several glands are there, they are releasing enzymes that are means entering into our blood, and they are doing their function. But in this system or in this coordination means they both the systems, they are coordinating with each other to perform a better functioning in our body, right? So that is in control and coordination, that is we have seen. In plant also some hormones or some plant hormone can also do this function, that is we have seen already. That is and again the next point we have seen coordination in animals, that we have started. That is in this the main organs are brain, spinal cord and neurons, that already we have seen. Receptors we have seen, 5 type of the receptors. Then effectors, which where the function is actually the work has done. Then we have seen the types of the nerves, sensory nerves, motor nerve, mixed nerve is also there. This is the diagrammatical structure we have seen for our human nervous system. And this again the nervous systems diagram we have already seen. Is all the red lines which is showing the all the network which is present in our body, that is nerves, right? So these things we have already done in our previous sessions, the two sessions we have done. Then we have seen the human nervous system, that is consist of the parts of the nervous system we have also seen, that is our brain, and we can easily divide into that periphery and central nervous system, right? In the central nervous system we have seen that is it consists of the brain and spinal cord especially, that is present in the center of the body. Then in peripheral we have seen whatever the hands and legs away from the means our body, that is we can say a peripheral. So the nervous system or the nerves are present into that peripheral areas we have seen in this peripheral nervous system. So this is central nervous systems, what are the organs are there. So that is brain and spinal cord, these two organs are present in our central nervous system we have seen. Then peripheral nervous system we have seen, that is taking the message or bringing the message to the towards the brain, or towards the spinal cord, or bringing or taking the message from the brain to all part of the body, or for bringing the message from all part of the body towards the brain. So that is already come into the peripheral nervous system we have seen. And the next we have seen what is nerves, like so we have seen already network of nerves are there. So this is actually a neuron is a single cell, that is a cell which will join together, and they will make the network of nerves in our body, that is present in the spinal cord and brain. So that is a basic functional structural unit of the our nervous system, that is called the neuron or nerve cell. And in detail we have already seen what is means the part of this cell, cell body, axon terminal, all the things we have seen. And this is, we have seen the transmission of the message through the neuron, from one neuron which is means that is detecting some stimuli or responding to the stimuli and converting the message into the impulse form from one neuron, and how it is just sending or passing to the other neuron, right, through the synapse, and then like this it is making a chain that is called the nerves. Whether it is from body towards the brain, it is called the sensory nerve. When it is bringing the message from brain to all part of the other organs, it is called motor nerve. So like this the message will be travel from one neuron to another neuron. So this is we have seen in our last slide. So now in our third lecture we will just start with the brain, right. This is the next topic we have to see in the detail. So what is actually the brain? It is a main coordinating center in the human body, right. Brain is a very important, we always are saying that is we have to protect our brain, because it is doing a very special kind of the functioning, it is controlling to all the body. So it is the main coordinating center you can say in the human body. Whatever the systems are running in our body, so the brain is controlling to all the systems. It is the main coordinating, means whatever the systems we have in like circulatory system, digestive system, all the systems which are functioning in our body. So brain is there to means control all the systems, and it is protected by the cranium. Cranium is a bony structure which is providing the security, which is providing the safety to the brain, and it is covered by the three membrane called the meninges, that is filled with the fluid called the cerebrospinal fluid, that are filled, which is protecting the brain from the shocks. Whatever all the activities we are doing in all the day, we are jumping, we are running, we are falling down sometimes. So whatever the shocks are there, so this fluids will protect our brain from this all the shocks, and it is providing the safety. Like in the vehicle we are having the shock ups, which is providing the safety to all the people which are sitting into the car or any vehicle. So like this it is providing the shock proof you can say from the external environment. And the brain has special three parts. We can divide our brain into the three part, that is a forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain, right. If you can see this diagram, in this we can easily say we can divide the brain into four parts. So this in front part you can say the forebrain, right, and in the mid part you can say the midbrain. This is consist of the midbrain, and this lastly part that is called the hindbrain. So basically we can divide our brain into these three parts: forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. So now one by one we will see what are the functioning, why it is divided into different forms or different types. So number one, forebrain, it consists of a cerebrum and olfactory lobes, that are the two parts which is present in our forebrain. So it is the thinking part of the brain and controls voluntary actions. Whatever thinking we are doing, whatever the thinking means happening in our body, so it will happen into this part, and it is also control the voluntary actions. Whatever the actions we are taking by our will, which is controlling our will. When I want to walk, I will walk. When I want to stop, I will stop. That is in my control, right. So that is all the activities like this we are doing, that is called the voluntary movement or voluntary actions, which is controlling by this part, and controls touch, smell, hearing, taste, sight, mental activities like thinking, learning, memory, emotions, etc. These all are whatever the voluntary actions, that is or the thinking part or thinking we will do with this part of the brain, that is called the forebrain, right. Then we will go to the next part, that is called the midbrain. It controls the involuntary actions, the actions which is not in our control, that will be controlled by this part, which is automatically controlled by the brain. We do not have to think about this kind of the actions what we are doing. And reflex movement of the head, neck, eyes, etc. Reflex movement, automatically our sometimes we are doing some movement unknowingly, so that is called the reflex. So reflex movement in the part of the head, neck and eyes, this part only, upper part of the body will be controlled by the midbrain, and it controls the involuntary movements, right. The next part that is called the hindbrain. So that is also consist, we can divide into a several part, that is consist of the cerebellum, pons and medulla. So what is a function of cerebellum? That is consists of body movement. It will control the body movement, whatever the movement we are doing in our day to day life, that will control by the cerebellum. And balance, whenever we sometimes we are going to sleep and we are just controlling to our body, or we are balancing to our body. So how we are doing this balancing? So that is balancing will be done by the cerebellum, right? And posture, our body posture, how we are standing, how we are walking, how we are sitting. So all the times the body posture will be controlled will by this cerebellum. And the next part is pons. So the pons controls respiration. This is the special system in our body which is taking the oxygen and removing the carbon dioxide. So this all the related functioning regarding the respiration will be controlled by the pons, that is a part of our hindbrain. Next, medulla, that control the heartbeat. Again it is going into the involuntary movements like our heartbeat, blood pressure, swallowing, whenever we are eating the food we are swallowing inside, and coughing, sneezing, vomiting. These all are the, and so many extra activities are there, that is controlled by the medulla. That is also you can say that is involuntary movements. So controlling the heartbeat, how the heartbeat when sometime when our body needs more blood to circulate, when our body needs more heartbeat, and when the blood pressure is going high and low, that is not in our control, right? When we are just swallowing the food, after that it's not in our control, that is involuntary movement. Now the food will be digest from our means you can say esophagus to the stomach, stomach to the large intestine, small intestine. So that is all the movement will be done. So it's controlling by this. Coughing, sneezing, that is not in our control. Vomiting, the material will be coming out from the body. So this is all will be done by the medulla. So this functioning we can be divided into different parts. So these are the forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. They are having the different kind of the function, right? So that is you have to keep in your mind. This is the structure of the brain what we have discussed here right now, forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Now we will just start with the spinal cord, right? Spinal cord and brain we have already seen, that is come into the central nervous system, that is called CNS. So brain already we have seen what is brain, how it is made up of, what are the part of the brain and which part will do the which kind of the function in our body. Now what about the spinal cord? That is the spinal cord starts from the brain and extends through the vertebral column. The structure we can see that is start from the brain, it is attached to the lower part of the brain and it is attaching to the hindbrain, right? And that is continue from the vertebral column. Now what is vertebral column exactly? That is bones, that is called vertebrae. They are attached together and it will make a vertebral column. A column of a bone, that is called a vertebral column, because as the cranium is providing the protection to the brain, so there is need something to provide the protection to the spinal cord also, because it is also consist of the neuron. It is very dedicated our cell. So that is why we are having the bony structure, that is called a spinal vertebral column, and from the vertebral column the spinal cord is running, right? So from our brain to end of this vertebral column, the spinal cord is just running from this brain or spinal cord. You can see this is the spinal cord which is running from inside, and these all are the vertebrae or vertebra you can say. So with the help of this all small vertebra, it will make the vertebral column, and from this vertebral column from the middle the spinal cord is running. So that is actually providing the protection to the spinal cord, right? Again the spinal cord, it is made up of 31 of spinal nerves, right? We have seen we have said already that it is made by the nerves. So it is also having the 31 pairs of the spinal nerve, because it is made up of 31 vertebra, that is a vertebral column. So in that the running is spinal cord, that is also having 31 pairs of spinal nerves. So it carries the messages. What is the function of spinal cord? It carries the messages to and fro the brain. To means whatever the function or the response to the stimuli our neurons will detect, it will just pass, all the neurons will, all the nerves will come together and they will attach to the spinal cord that we have seen in CNS system. So whatever the message from all over the body, it will come first to the spinal cord and then it is just send it to the brain. So that is why it is just taking the message from all the body toward the brain, and whatever the commands are given by, whatever the action of our body which is given to the body from the brain, again it will take the message from the brain and provide to each and every part of the body. So that is called to and fro movement of the message it will do the spinal cord. So it is also control the reflex action. So the number one function, taking the message from all the body providing to the brain, and whatever the return message from the brain, it is just taking from the brain and providing to all part of the body. The second thing, that is it is also control the reflex action. It is a very important thing, reflex action. We will see in the detail in our next next points. So reflex action actually immediate response of our body unknowingly. Whenever we are suppose we are touching to some hot object and unknowingly we are just removing our hand immediately, and then we will just understand, oh, we have touched to some hot objects, so we have immediately remove our hand. So that is immediately command is given, or the written message is just given from the spinal cord only. It does not need to go to the brain and then brain will think and then it will give the reverse action or order to the all the body. So it will take the too much time. That is why there is a chance of burning of more our whatever the organs is touching. So that is why it is having a reflex action, that is immediately we are taking the decision and our muscle will move. So that is also come under the reflex action. We will see in detail in our next slide. And we can just observe this spinal cord. So it is starting from the medulla oblongata from the brain, that is a lower brain part we have already seen, and it is ended into the coccygeal nerves. So that is the end part of the nerves. So whenever it is running from all the body, it is just divided into a specific regions. That is, first of all, it is called the cervical nerves. So what is cervical nerves? Actually the part of the spinal cord that is running through the neck. So that part is called the cervical nerves. The remaining part is called thoracic nerves, the pair of the nerves that are passing from our thoracic region, you can say, that is our ribs are there, they are attaching. So that is thoracic region. So it is given the name thoracic nerve, and then it is just given the name lumbar nerve because it is just running through a lumbar vertebra. The vertebra, I already told you, so many vertebrae, like 31 vertebrae, they are joined together. So the region where this vertebra are present, that is also called the lumbar. So the region, it is given the name lumbar nerves, and the last it is called the sacral nerves. So these are you can divide our spinal cord nerves or the pairs of the nerves into this 4 types according to the position from where it is running, right. So this is actually the spinal cord. And reflex action we can see here, that is already I have told you what is reflex action, right. So reflex action actually it is sudden or unconscious and involuntary response of the effectors to a stimuli. It is unknowingly, sudden, involuntary response. It is not in our control, right. We are not just thinking and just giving the command to the hands, just remove the hand from hot object, immediately we are doing this thing. So that is why it is called the involuntary also, and we can say a sudden and unconscious response from our effector to the stimulus. Effectors where like our hands and legs or the organs, that is our effectors where the function is done actually, and from the our receptor from where it is just taking the message and where it is we have to end up. So that is a response to the effector to the stimuli. Whatever the stimuli means, if we are touching to the hot object, that is a stimuli, that is a external thing which happening to our body. So that is actually the a reflex arc. Okay, so that is called reflex arc, which is just suddenly we are responding to such kind of the things, right. And example we can take also, we suddenly withdraw our hand if we suddenly touch a hot object, right, unknowingly or involuntarily, without knowing to us it is happen. After happening this thing, we just having a message, means the message has sent to the brain that something is happening in this kind of the part of the body. So that is automatically or immediately the response will be happen. So that is called the reflex arc. And how it will happen in this reflex action, the nerves in the skin, that is called receptor, because it is receiving the message, it is receiving responding to the stimuli, that is why it is called the receptor. So in this region of our skin there is nerves are there, so they detect the heat and passes the message through the sensory nerves. They are just detecting the heat level, means it is very harmful to the body, whether it is high or low. So they are just immediately they are detecting the heat level, whether it is very high, we are touching to the hot object. So how we are going to know? That is sensory nerve, they are just taking the message from that part of the body, from the skin and to the spinal cord, that is the sensory nerves that are taking the message from the body or from the receptor to the spinal cord. And here spinal cord actually the first point where our sensory nerves and motor nerves they are going to meet, and in between there are the mixed nerve is also there. So here the sensory nerves they are just actually connecting to the motor nerve, and then information passes through the motor nerve to the muscles, that is called effector. Immediately from the spinal cord only the muscle or the message has given to the our effector, like our hands and legs, that is that they have to withdraw from there, that they have to be remove the hand or leg from there, the part where we are touching hot objects. So that actually this is only happening from the our receptor through the sensory nerve, it is just coming to the spinal cord. From the spinal cord again it is just giving the message to the motor nerve, it is not just sending to the brain and then brain will give the message to the our effector organs. So it is not the case like the normal thing. From the spinal cord only immediately the response had given to the our effector, our hand and legs, to remove the hand from their body or withdraw our hands, and then the message only given to the brain for only our understanding that something has done over here. So that is called the reflex action unknowingly. That is why we do not know what happened, after some time we are going to know this kind of the things had done. So immediately it will happen, and that is necessary to save our body from the harmful things, from the burning you can also say. So that is we will also see in detail in our next slide. This is actually the two slide we will just understand what is a reflex arc in detail. So if you can see the left part of this, it's actually divided from here, and this one is called PNS, that is a peripheral nervous system. We have already seen that is in throughout the body it is just spreaded, and right one side that is called CNS, that is central nervous system, only the brain and spinal cord that are included into the CNS. So it will actually the movement will be happening from the peripheral nervous system to central nervous system, then from central to peripheral. So here it is mentioned a sensory neuron or sensory neuron that is present in our skin. So when the skin is touching to any hot object, right, when a body is coming into the extremely high level of the heat that is dangerous for us, so there are sensory nerves are present. So these sensory nerves will detect the heat level, and whether it is high, immediately the message will pass through the sensory nerves. This is our sensory nerve, and they are just coming to the spinal cord. This is our spinal cord, this region belongs to the spinal cord. So the message movement will be like this, it is just coming to the spinal cord, and here the point that is called a junction, that is also we can say the mixed nerve, that is in a green color, right. So in the green color that is given a mixed nerve, from where the motor nerve will be start, right. Now I will just clear it. So this part from here it is called the motor nerve, which are the movement of the signal from this movement to the muscles. So that is a motor nerves, already we have seen, that are taking the message from the brain towards the muscles, towards the effector. But here it is not coming from the brain, right, it is just passing from here directly to the our muscles, right. So that is an advantage of the reflex action, it will save the time. When the message should be sent to the brain and then brain will send message toward the body, so it will take a more time. That is why the movement is like this, from here to spinal cord, from spinal cord to directly toward the our muscles. So that is, this part will be called a motor nerves. So from the motor nerve the message will be given to our muscles, and the muscles will be contract and our hands will be moved, because our muscles having the special kind of the protein, that is contractile protein, so it can be moved, so that it will contract and immediately our hand will be removed from the heat area or hot area. So that is called a reflex action or reflex arc, right. So that is just in short, you have to keep in mind, in some sudden cases when our body having a harmful thing, or our body is coming into the contact to the harmful thing, the reflex action will be done here, and that is saving the time to perform a different kind of function, that is sending to the brain and coming from the brain. So it will take more time. So in short, it will just finish uh, within a shorter time, so our body will be safe from the hot objects. So that is our reflex action we have seen in this chapter, right. So both the things will be joined together here, central nervous system as well as peripheral nervous system, right. So whatever the things we have learned in this session that are very important, just go through this 2-3 times, revise this. So when you are revising it, it will just make your doubts clear, because these are the new things for you. Whatever the part of a brain, which part is doing which kind of the action in our body, that is just go through this, write down notes from this, right. Whatever the important point you will think, just write one more time in your notebook, function, which part will do which kind of the function, right. And then just what is spinal cord, whatever the how many pairs are there, 31 pairs of nerves they will make the spinal cord, what is the function of spinal cord, this is all the question. And lastly, what is reflex action and why it is needed. These are some assignment from me, and just you can do at your homework, and then we will see in your next lecture. And whatever the remaining part, we will just continue through the reflex action. Okay, so see you in the next lecture.